In a world where everything is changing,
you can always count on us to change for you.
Of course, the main goal is nationals.
We have features,
highlights,
and all things Northwest sports.
That's been the big focus for us.
This
is Bearcat Update.
Let's go! We're getting better today, baby!
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, John Walker. Last week, the weather put a hold on our show and the start of spring sports, but we are back in action, and spring sports hope they are too. Although softball and baseball were supposed to begin their seasons on February 12th, the teams have yet to hit the field. Baseball is planning to start its season Monday in the Pitt State Invitational. Softball, on the other hand, is hoping to start its season Friday in the Drury Invitational. Moving on to basketball, the teams now enter the last week before postseason games. The women are currently sitting at 8th in the MIAA standings, which is notable because only the top 8 teams get into the postseason tournament this year. The women fell to both Emporia State and Washburn on the road last week. The team has another chance to play Washburn Tuesday in Bearcat Arena. The men survived a scare from Emporia last Thursday, eventually winning that game 69-62. Saturday, the number 3 Bearcats got their rematch with number 15 Washburn, the team that handed the Cats their only loss on the season. It wasn't easy, but they pulled it off, winning 88-85 in overtime to secure the program's 8th consecutive MIAA regular season championship. Highlights wouldn't do that game justice, so instead, our reporter Dylan Johnson was there to capture every single moment of the thriller in Lee Arena. Dylan.
We got a tough task ahead of us tonight.
Wanting to avenge that loss, but also come out and kind of assert themselves as that dominant team in the MIAA, getting a piece of at least everybody by knocking off Washburn here on their home floor today. A limited audience, but the tickets for this one sold out fast. But this should be a fun one between two NCAA tournament teams.
Back to Diamond, he'll drive the lane right side, now spins in the lane off the left side, leans in with the left hand and puts it up and in. Heck of a matchup there, two of the top guards in Division II basketball. Spins, fadeaway jumper, nothing but in. On the left, Lewis, he'll take a long three with 6 seconds on the shot clock, nothing but in. And it's a 7-2 lead for the Ichabods down the lane. Driving is Diego Bernard, and he windmills it up and in. Hudgens drives, slays it up and in with the left hand off the right side of the bucket. Finds Waters got through the lane, leans in, banks it, hits it, and another trip to the free throw line for Luke Waters as he's fouled on the shot. 2:11 left in the first half. Northwest in front 38-35. As Alexander started it with a steal on the defensive end, ends up getting the shot on the offensive end and a chance to make it a three-point trip down the floor. Dribbles right side, up the pass tipped away by Hudgens, picked right back up by Guyman, a long pass on the left side, they get it to McKee, who will have the easy slam dunk.
It's not easy to be good. It's not easy, and this game is going to be an absolute war.
Luke Waters cutting the baseline, takes a pass on the left side of the bucket, and lays it up off the right side and in. Couple dribbles, takes it back right side for Bernard, he'll drive the lane, and a collision as he gets knocked to the floor. Hudgens 3 of 4 at the free throw line. The left-handed free throw shooter has the free throw rim around and out. Hudgens back to the line. Second one on the way, and that one is good. He's on the right wing, squares the dribble, goes to the left corner for Duffenbaugh. Little shot fake inside the arc. The runner on the way, banks it, misses it, and we're going to overtime.
Make up for what happened earlier this year. Make sure you go back and remember that and remember all those conversations we had. Let's go.
2 meetings this year between the Bearcats and the Ichabods, and 2 games going to overtime. We're tied up at 72 as 5 more minutes have been put up on the clock. Sets up right wing 3 on the way. Misses as hits the front rim. Rebound to block left side goes to Bernard. Gets it back to Trevor. Little shot fake is crossing up the air and a foul. Through the lane left, drives on Bernard, banks it and hits it. Tied up at 76 with the Ichabods. Hudgens drives into the lane, takes in the left corner. Dreamer, the 3 on the way. Got it!
That's number 5 on move.
I believe so. Luke Waters picks up his 5th. He'll go to the sideline. That's just Byron Alexander into the ball game. Comes up, little shot fake, gets McKee up in the air and knocks Hudgens to the floor underneath the bucket. 88-85, Northwest Missouri State in front of Washburn now with 6.7 seconds left. Hyman in the backcourt, now taking to midcourt. He's in the front court to the left wing, in the left corner, 3 on the way. It's missed as the buzzer sounds, and Northwest Missouri State holds on for the win.
Hey, what they say?
Thanks, Dylan. The women and men will both finish their regular season this Thursday and Saturday by hosting Nebraska, Kearney, and Fort Hays. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the newest additions to the spring schedule. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. With the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, volleyball and soccer are on the new spring sports schedule. The volleyball team has started its season with two 3-0 sweeps against Missouri Southern and Pitt State. The team will make its home debut this Wednesday against Washburn. Northwest Soccer traveled to Mankato, Minnesota to play Minnesota State. The team wasn't successful as the Cats returned to Maryville with a 3-0 loss. Our reporter Arib Sheikh spoke with the team to see the changes to adjust to this spring season. Arib.
The Northwest team is geared up and ready to face the MIAA tournament. Head coach Mark Gordon explains what their goals are entering the tournament.
I think everybody's worked hard to try and make it possible. You know, the elements of adding testing and the requirements that are needed have created some additional challenges for our support staff. You know, I look at our athletic trainers, our admin staff, and then our wellness center, and just the extra work they're doing for the athletes.
The girls are excited to get back on the field and win, and they all share the same passion for the team.
So we have six players coming in. We're at a point in my tenure here where we're getting to be a little more selective position-wise, where early on it was just about finding the best possible soccer players and athletes and putting them in positions for us to have success as a team. And so the group overall have you know, different assets. We have a defender coming in that I think will fit in nicely with our group. You know, I think where we've grown a lot is in our trust of one another and our individual confidence that we have the ability to compete and do well within the MIAAs.
Along with the COVID-19 and the extreme winters, this spring season may seem like a challenge, but the girls will work hard to push through and play as many matches as possible. This is Arib Sheikh, reporting for Bearcat Update.
Thanks, Arib. The team will play Central Missouri in Warrensburg this Friday. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take another quick break. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. It may be the last week of Black History Month, but the celebration should continue beyond February. Our reporter Chase Chambers takes a look into the impact of Black History Month on the world of athletics. Chase.
Black History Month is a celebration of the Black community and all the great things surrounding this culture, and athlete activism is a big part of that. From icons in the community like Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Colin Kaepernick, Tommy Smith, Arthur Ashe, and even Bill Russell. With the recent protests in the U.S. this past year, U.S. citizens want to see a change in the way the Black community has been treated. Professional athletes in the NBA want to have their voices heard and even stopped playing due to the protests. The WNBA also stood up for what they thought was right. Northwest women's basketball assistant coach Adai Houston talks about Black History Month and what it means to him as a coach.
So the first question I have for you is, what kind of role do you think that Black History Month plays in the athletic world as a whole?
I think it's been good overall as a whole. Obviously, I think there's been more attention to it than it has been in the past. And that's definitely a good thing. But I also hope people recognize that sometimes it's unfortunate that certain events have to happen to bring light to certain situations and exposure of, you know, what the month actually represents and the importance of, you know, showing our history and our culture and how it's intertwined. And
what does Black History Month personally mean to you?
Personally, it's always been something that has been a part of my family in particular, and how we have recognized it, and just the discussions we had within our own family about our history and our culture in America.
What does the representation of Black athletes mean to you, just as a whole, either at Northwest or just around the athletic world?
Again, just that representation, you provide role models for our younger generation just to see us in those type of positions, whether that's an athlete playing at a college professionally, even high school, even going all the way through that. But just to have that representation and seeing someone.
And then who inspired you to start getting into sports? And then also who inspired you to become a coach at the next level?
For basketball, it was just more of a pastime to start, and had two older brothers that played the sport as well. Out of the three of us, I played the furthest as far as career goes, but that's definitely where it started was with family, and then just obviously seeing some of the players professionally play and in the college ranks just provided more motivation to be great at the sport.
And then the last question I have is, what do you think about having more of the Black representation in like the staffing in the community of professional college sports?
For us to be represented, because one of the biggest things that I've noticed, in particular with basketball, oftentimes you have predominantly Black players that make up a team, and so that also can be helpful to transcend into the coaching ranks, and so. That's why I think that would be very important.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, well, that's all I have.
Yeah,
Sweet.
No problem at all.
Reporting for Bearcat Update, I'm Chase Chambers.
Thanks, Chase. Entering March, we'll be honoring Women's History Month and looking into how women impacted the sports world professionally and here at Northwest. More sports to tune into this week are men and women's tennis. They play home against Oklahoma Baptist. This weekend, track and field will travel to Topeka, Kansas for the second time in 3 weeks to compete in the MIAA championships. That's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of Bearcat Update. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8. You can catch all of our previous episodes on YouTube at KNWT8. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
In a world where everything is changing,
You can always count on us to change for you.
Of course, the main goal is nationals.
follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8.
It's been the big focus for us.
Tune in on Mondays at 6:30 on KNWT Channel 8.
This
This is Bearcat Update.
Let's go!